This video is going to cover the Word Chapter 2 Pause and Practice. We're going to use the resume start file from our files that were previously given to us in Chapter 1 or in the video for how to complete the pause and practice assignments to complete this file. It is called resume-02 and we're going to save this document with our initials space PP space W 2-1. So I'm going to hit File, Save As, and then Browse, and we're not going to change the location. Again, we're keeping everything in that Word folder, and this is Word Chapter 2, so we are going to stay in Word Chapter 2. And I'm going to put in my initials. You should put in your initials. And number 1 asks us to go to the Layout tab, and we're going to click on the Page Setup dialog box launcher. That's the little itty bitty box in the Page Setup group on the Layout tab. And then we're going to click the Margins button, and we are going to change the top to 0.75 and the bottom to 0.75. And then we are going to change the left and right margins both to 1. So you can use the arrows or you can type that information in. From here, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. That takes care of the rest of number 3. Number 4 asks us to select Loomis, California through October present. So we're going to select that information. And then we are going to click the Paragraph dialog box launcher. And we're going to do what's called a tab stop. So we are going to go down to tabs in the lower left-hand corner. And from here, we are going to set a 6.5. So we're typing 6.5. We're going to do a right alignment and a leader of 3. Then make sure that you hit set before you hit OK. And then this will move that information over with the dash leader. Number 5 asks us to use the Format Painter to place this on a couple of other areas of the document. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to a full screen view or full page view. And then I'm going to go to View. And I'm going to do multiple pages just because that helps me kind of see the entire document for this particular step, so I'm not scrolling a bunch. I'm going to go to the Home tab and I'm going to double click the Format Painter because I'm applying it to more than one area. So I'm going to double click and then I'm going to select Winters through 2020 and then I'm going to select Winters through 2017 and then I'm going to select Chico through 2018 so that all 4 tab stops are in place. I'm going to hit Escape to turn my Format Painter off. And then next it asks us for number 6 to remove an existing tab stop on the references. So we're going to select a couple of lines below references on that last page. And I'm going to go ahead and put mine back into, let's put it back into that split screen again. And then from there, we're going to go to the Paragraph dialog box launcher again, and we're going to choose Tabs. And then select the existing tab stop, which is 2.5, and we're going to clear it. After you clear it, we're going to type in 3.75, which is the position for the new tab stop, and we're not going to change anything in the alignment or the leader this time. Then hit Set, then hit OK. Then we are on to number 7, and we are going to apply a left and right indent to the paragraph below the profile heading. So we're going to go up and we're going to select that information underneath profile, and we're going to go to the Layout tab, and there's an indent left. I'm going to type in 0.25 and hit enter, and there's an indent right, and I will type in 0.25 and hit enter. Then we are going to save the document. We double check, make sure it looks like it does in our end of our directions, and then we can close it out and open it back up if you need to, but I'm just going to hit Control S on my document and then function F12, or you can hit F12 depending on your keyboard. Backspace out the 1, put in a 2 and hit enter. For 2-2, we are going to start on the File tab, and we're going to change some of the document properties. So we are going to select Rochelle Wilkinson at the top of our document, and we can hit Control C here to copy it. Then go into File, Info, Properties, click on Advanced Properties here, and then in the title we can hit Control V. So that way Rochelle Wilkinson is in there and there shouldn't be any spelling errors. We're going to hit OK, and we're going to exit the Backstage view, and then we're going to double click up in our header. So anywhere in this blank space here above Rochelle Wilkinson, you can click. You can also go to the header footer tab, or the header footer group on your Insert tab, and do that as well. And we're going to click the Document Info button, and we are going to choose the title. So we are on 4D. So on the Header Footer Tools tab, we can go to Document Info, and we're going to click Document Title. And then we are going to click in our header. I'm going to hit the right arrow key on my keyboard to deselect Rochelle Wilkinson, make sure that I'm not selected on it. And I'm going to hit Tab twice. We're going to type in the word page, capital P, lowercase ag, space, and we are going to put our page number in using this feature. On the top left corner, you're going to go to page number. We're going to go with current position, and then we're going to go with plain number 1. Then you're going to hit the space bar again, type in the word of, space bar one more time, and then we are going to go into document info and go down to field. And then we are going to click somewhere in our field names down here, and we're going to type on our keyboard num pages, or you can just scroll down to num pages. Once you find num pages, you can click on your format 1, 2, 3 right here, and we're going to hit OK. And then we have our header for our second page. So we don't want this to show on our first page, so we're going to check the box here, different on first page. Now it'll still show down here on our second page, but it is removed from the first. So I'm going to double click below my header to get out of the header. And we are going to be down on number 6, where we are saving this. Control S, FN, F12, or you can hit F12 and backspace out the 2, put in a 3, hit enter. And then for the third section, we are going to add some bullets. So again, I'm going to put this in a multiple paged view so I can see both my pages. We're going to select developed down through teacher's aids. And we're going to go to the home tab, and we're looking into our bullets. So we're going to go right into bullets, and you can click to add those bullets, but we're also going to define a new bullet. So we want to be in that drop down menu, and we're going to hit define new bullet, and we're going to go into symbol. And then in the drop down menu for the font, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to hit the up arrow a few times until you get to Wingdings, not Wingdings 2 or 3, just Wingdings. And then we're going to type in character code 254. So you're going to get this check mark here with the checkbox, and then you can go ahead and hit OK, and then OK again. And now that we have this bulleted list here, we want to apply it in a couple other sections. So we're going to double click our format painter, and we're going to select provided down through week. And again, make sure that you have the correct information selected. Otherwise, just hit Control Z and it'll undo it, and then you can try again. And then developed down through needs. And then we're going to select minor in psychology down through center on the other page. And again, I'm going to go ahead and hit escape to make sure that my format painter is off. And then that takes us down to number 4, which asks us to put a page break in front of education. So I'm going to click in front of education, and I'm going to hit Control, hold down Control, and hit Enter one time on my keyboard. Whoops, I had Shift held down, sorry. Control, and then hit Enter, and you'll see a page break pop in. And then we are going to number 5, which is clicking on the design tab, and we're going to apply a theme. So we're looking at the Ion theme, which should be the second one down in the first column. And then we're going to choose a color. So you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom of your colors and you're going to select aspect. I'm sorry, you're actually choosing red for this project. I think we choose aspect for the guided, but we're choosing red. So sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and click red, and then we're going to select Rochelle Wilkinson on the first page, and we are going to go to the Home tab, and we are applying a title style. So you may have to go into your styles here if you're in a split screen. If you are not in a split screen and you have the full menu available, you might see it a little easier. But we're going to click on title. We decide that's a little bit too big, so we're going to take the font size down to 20. And then from there, we are going to apply heading 1 to profile, experience, education, skills, and references, and heading 2 to the bold italicized headings. So I'm again going to put this into a split or a 2-paged view. And this is what works easiest for me, and you can do it differently if you need to, but I'm going to click just out here in the margin next to profile. And then if I hold down Control, I can click next to experience, education, skills, and references, all while holding down Control after that first selection so that I can select multiple non-adjacent areas throughout the document. Those are all going to be heading 1. So we're going to open up our styles and choose heading 1. Then we are going to select all of the bold italicized headings. So I'm clicking out here in the margin to the left of Head Teacher, Loomis Learning Center, holding down Control. I'm going to click on Nanny and then California. So I have 3, one more, I'm sorry, and Teaching, Internship, and Head Start. So once all 4 of those headings are selected, those are all going to be heading 2. And then we're back to our directions. We're going to select the profile heading and change the spacing before to 16. So we're going to select profile and go to the layout tab and change the spacing to 16. We'll have to type this in. After you hit enter and it's typed in, it's asking us to go to the heading 1 style and update it to match the selection. So on the Home tab inside my styles, I don't want to left click this. If I left click this right now, I'm going to override the 18 that I just did. So I'm going to right click on it and hit update heading to match selection. Then we're going to select that heading 2 style here. And after you select the heading 2 style, we are going to, be on 7D, and we're changing the font size to 12. So on the Home tab, it is 13. We're taking that down to 12. And then we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go into Styles and right-click Heading 2 and hit Update Heading 2 to match selection. Then again, we're going to hit Control-S on our document, function F12 or F12 to launch that Save As dialog box. Take out the 3 and put in a 4. We're going to hit Enter. And again, confirming that this looks like ours. We're going to scroll down a little further to start 2.4. The first thing we're going to do on 2.4 is I'm going to hit Control Home to put my cursor at the top of my document, or you can just click right in front of Rochelle. And we're going to hit Control H to launch that Find and Replace dialog box. And what we're doing is we are looking for a hyphen and the find what, and then we are going to, in the replace box, use a special character called an end dash. So we are going to put a hyphen in the find what and then replace with, and we are going to use the format option here and look for, we're going to use a special option here and we're going to look for end dash. ENDASH. So I got this extra menu here by clicking on more. So if I did that a little fast, we're going to hit more and then special and then EN as in Nancy dash. So we're going to look for the first one. So I'm just going to hit find next. The first one's going to pop up right here in hands on. So according to the directions, it's going to ask us to replace each occurrence of a hyphen between the dates with an en dash. Choose Find Next to skip and not to replace each occurrence of the hyphenated word. So we want to find next because that's not a date. October to present is a date, so we're going to hit replace. Replace on January to 2004, replace on February through 2017, and we're going to hit find next for age appropriate. We want to leave that regular hyphen there, and then we're going to hit replace on September through 2018. This last one is technically a date right behind here, spring to spring, but we're going to close it out, and I believe it's only referring to the en dashes for the times in which this person was employed in that city and state. On number 4, it asks us to apply some shading and borders to a paragraph. So we're going to go up to that profile paragraph that we were formatting earlier, or did the indent to. With it selected, we're going to go into our borders menu, and that's in your paragraph group on your home tab. And if you go down to borders and shading, we're going to choose the shadow in the setting, and we're choosing a solid line, which is already selected, and the color is going to be dark red accent 1. It is going to be the 5th one over on the top line. And then we are going to choose a width of 1 point. So we're going to hit the drop down menu here and we're choosing 1 point. And then we have to choose how this border gets applied. So we are going to make sure that it's on the top and on the bottom. And I'm just double clicking. It looks like it's already applied to all sections of that paragraph. And then on the options button, we're going to change the top and bottom to 2 points. We're going to click options and change the top and the bottom to 2 point. And then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And then on the shading tab in the same menu, we are going to look for the fill. And we are just using this white background 1 darker 5%. You may or may not be able to see it real clearly when you hit OK and OK, but it shows up just a little bit different shade than the rest of the document. Then we're going to add a border to the header. So we're going to double click in the header and our second page, and then on the home tab we're going to click the bottom border. So you don't necessarily have to go into the border menu, you can just use the default bottom border here if you'd like, and it will remember the last color and setting that you had. So it will apply that 1 point red. Then you can close out of your header footer just by double clicking anywhere in the document. And then we're going to insert a hyperlink. So we're going to select the email address at the top of the first page. And you can go to insert and hit hyperlink on your ribbon, or you can hit Control K on your keyboard. And actually, let's hit cancel for 1 second. I'm going to hit Control C first to copy this email address, and you'll see why in a second. We're just going to hit Control C, Control K, and we have our hyperlink selected, and we're going to go to email address, text to display. We're going to hit Control V as in Victor to paste that, Control V as in Victor. Then where it says the email address, we're also going to hit Control V as in Victor. Now again, we would have had to type this in had we not copied it, but we did. So we've typed it in, we did 6D and E, and then now we are going to add a screen tip that reads email Rochelle. So we're going to click screen tip and we're going to type in email Rochelle, and after we hit OK and then OK again, we're going to add a couple of more hyperlinks to the document. We're going to scroll down and we are going to select California State University Chico in our references here, and we're going to hit Control K. And this is a web page that we're going to add, so we're going to click existing file or web page, and our website address is www. And it'll automatically add the hypertext transfer protocol to that, chico.edu. I'm sorry, csuchico.edu. And we're going to change a couple of things over here. The screen tip we're going to click on, and we are going to type in all caps CSU, and then Chico website. CSU Chico website, just like you see in 7E right here. And then we're going to change the target frame so that it opens it up in a new window. So I'm going to hit OK, then target frame, and then hit drop down menu and choose new window. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. Then you can hit OK again, and then it will have changed this to hyperlink, and you have CSU Chico website that pops up in the screen tip. Just like above, if you were to hover over that one as well, you would also get an email Rochelle if you hovered over top of it. Word also has the opportunity for you to add built-in auto website or auto hyperlinks. So if you click after the email address down here, you can just hit spacebar, and we're going to click after this email address as well and hit the spacebar so that the hyperlinks are automatically added. And then from here, we are done. So we're just going to confirm it looks like the document that's here in our finished product. And here we're just going to hit Control S and then close it out. And then you should be getting into SimNet to look for your pause and practice Dropbox. And it'll probably launch a little bit different than mine since mine's an instructor version. But you're eventually going to make your way to that Word Chapter 2 Dropbox in SimNet. And you're gonna may have to hit download resources before it lets you upload and save. Again, just depends on if you've clicked that yet or not. Then you can hit upload and save, and you are looking for your last file that you just worked on. Hopefully, again, in your desktop, you have that folder that you've been keeping everything organized, and you can go into your Word Chapter 2 folder and double click your 2-4 file.